AI companies have unique business models, each with distinct billing needs. Stripe is the go-to choice for AI leaders, from early-stage startups to scaled enterprises. With Stripe Billing, you can support any business model and easily align your monetization strategy with customer value. Join the ranks of 78% of the Forbes AI 50 and millions of businesses worldwide that trust Stripe to help them build more profitable, scalable businesses. Discover more at stripe.com.
Hey, I'm Jamie East, and today's episode of The Smart 7 is brought to you by Sainsbury's, where you can save big on festive favourites with Nectar prices. As the nights get cold and with Christmas round the corner, it's more important than ever to find value for money on your festive shop. And this Christmas, Sainsbury's have great discounts to make your festive season truly magical. But you don't have to wait until Christmas to start roast season. For example, this week, you can get a Buy Sainsbury's whole leg of lamb for half price with Nectar prices. You can shop in-store or online and save big on festive favourites this Christmas with Nectar prices at Sainsbury's. That's good food for all of us. This offer's for 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Buy Sainsbury's whole leg of lamb offer ends 18th November. Nectar required. Available in-store and online, excluding locals. Delivery fees may apply, subject to availability. Seven things you don't really need to know, but probably should. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Sunday 7.
I'm Ciara Evans in for Jamie East this week, and on today's episode of the award-winning Sunday 7, we find out what Donald Trump's impact on medical research has been, take a spin in a flying car, and test the bird theory. Plus, Will Guy, the Smart 7's resident tech guru, casts an eye over Jeff Bezos' rocket and tells us about a Japanese woman who married her AI companion. If you're enjoying our episodes, please do like and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. We're here 7 days a week at 7 a.m. with the 7 biggest stories on the Smart 7 in association with Metro. Before we get started though, it was on this day in 1875 that the first patent was awarded for a dental drill. It was called an electromagnetic dental plugger, and the patent was issued to a William Bonwell in Philadelphia. He used it to drive gold into a dental cavity using what was basically an electrically powered spring-loaded mallet. It doesn't sound great, to be honest, but look at those pretty gold teeth. Donald Trump has had a dramatic impact on the United States in the first 10 months of his presidency. We've seen an immigration crackdown that has brought armed agents and National Guard onto the streets of American City. We've also seen tariff wars and a concerted effort to crack down on what the Trump administration sees as liberal universities. Some academic institutions have reached settlements with Trump, including Columbia and Cornell, but Harvard has been a notable exception. However, the cuts in grants and research funding that have followed Harvard's refusal to bend the knee have had some serious implications for research programs. American news show 60 Minutes zoomed in this week on some of the critical research programs at Harvard that could be under threat, including a key piece of research which invented gene splicing tools to tackle hereditary diseases like muscular dystrophy. David Liu is a professor of the natural sciences at Harvard University, and he specialises in molecular biology and organic chemistry, but he says the cuts could put progress in jeopardy.
Science research, at the cutting edge especially, is a slow-moving process. When you disrupt that process, it can take years. You have to hire those people back. You have to generate those samples, many of which are perishable.
It's not just the specific program. Stephen Pinker is the Johnstone Family Professor of Psychology at Harvard University, and he specialises in visual cognition and developmental linguistics, and he says targeting science is a common practice of autocratic regimes.
Research works. If you want to freeze society where it is, then cripple the research enterprise. The attack on universities is a tragic blunder. For all the foibles of universities, and there are many, and I pointed them out, universities' research makes life better, massively so. Why would you want to cripple it? It's something that the United States does really, really well.
Fortunately, some of America's many billionaires are stepping into the gap, including Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and CEO of Facebook. He and his wife Priscilla also run a charity called the Zuckerberg Chan Initiative. They announced this week that they're refocusing their philanthropic efforts on a project called BioHub, which aims to power research on human biology with AI.
We're going all in on building BioHub as the first research organization combining frontier AI and frontier biology. We're bringing together leading AI researchers, scientists, massive compute clusters, and the largest human cell datasets to create virtual cells and virtual immune systems to help advance science. The next decade is going to be really exciting, and we think that some of humanity's biggest dreams are finally coming within reach.
Research is, of course, a pretty competitive field, and other countries will step into the gap as US universities cut or shutter projects, with the UK being one of those countries. This week saw the government announce new plans which will see testing on animals phased out, but some scientists are calling for a cautious approach. Frances Balkwill is a professor of cancer biology at Queen Mary College Hospital, London, and she says there are parts of cancer research in particular that still require some element of testing on live subjects.
Over many decades, research using animals has made a major impact on the life sciences and every treatment that we have for disease. I think the concern in the community is that this may deprioritize animal research at the expense of the alternative methods. In my own lab, working in cancer research, we've been developing alternative methods, and our use of animals has really greatly reduced. But there comes a point where we need the complexity of the whole animal to test these new treatments for cancer.
It's been a bit of a strange week in tech, with some hilarious tech fails and a significant win for Jeff Bezos in the billionaire space race. When it comes to tech, though, there's only one thousandaire we trust, and that is the Smart 7's tech guru, Will Guyatt. So, well, there's quite a lot of billionaire-related tech stories this week. Let's start with Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos. How is his Blue Origin space project going?
I know it sounds like it could be a Channel 5 movie about Viagra, but the company Blue Origin really does appear to be taking some big steps in the rush to take humanity to Mars. The planet, that is, because you can already get the chocolate bar delivered by Amazon.
He also managed a trick that only Elon Musk has done before.
The company successfully landed its massive booster rocket for the first time, enabling it to reuse it. Now, SpaceX may have done this first, but if all the main players in the space race can make this possible, it's going to save billions of dollars of waste, as typically this expensive piece of kit blasts the rocket into space and then falls into the sea. Instead, this one landed and can be used again and again and again.
Is this genuinely turning into a space race now? Who do you think will make it to Mars first? Amazon are usually pretty good at getting stuff there on time, right?
I'm sure there's a joke here about Amazon being primed to get there next day, but I'm going to resist it. If I was betting on a billionaire to get to Mars first, it would definitely be Elon Musk. SpaceX has been doing this for years, and while Blue Origin is now getting NASA and US government contracts, Musk is still years ahead. And competition in any market is a thing we should all encourage, as long as the price of my toilet roll from Amazon isn't going to rocket as a result.
Apart from space, OpenAI billionaire Sam Altman has been grumbling about something slightly odd this week. What's annoying him, Will?
Speaking at an event, Sam Altman focused his sights on the app Slack, which is used in offices around the world for communication, file sharing, and available apps in a searchable form. It's most definitely a fave of coders, engineers, and those in the tech world. He said it had many positives but creates endless work. He then suggested an AI-native productivity suite to replace documents, slides, emails, and of course Slack. He said this wasn't going to be an add-on with features for your existing Microsoft Office or Google Docs, but a trusted AI that handles your work and only bothers you when needed. Of course, as he always does, he said this was finally in reach.
It seems like an odd target for his rage. Do you think he's plotting some kind of Slack alternative?
Around 80 billion people use Slack monthly currently, so it's comparatively niche, but it presses all the buttons in Sam's mind because it would influence coders and developers, and that means ChatGPT and its decisions will literally end up everywhere else. Mentioning Slack by name suggests to me that they've either got something lined up like their Google Chrome web browser rival called Atlas, which launched a few weeks ago for the Mac, or he was crowdsourcing opinion on a new idea from real-life humans rather than a legion of his own chatbots.
We saw some less successful tech this week too. Let's just say Elon won't be worried about Russia's robot scientists for a while, right?
You know how a really knockoff version of the latest tech always follows the latest smartphone or smartwatch? Well, we've seemingly got our first robot rip-off. You've probably seen Tesla's Optimus robot, which, whether it's real or not, certainly looks the part. Well, this one doesn't at all. It's worth finding videos of Russia's first humanoid robot, Idol, who was unveiled at a press conference in Moscow earlier this week. The hype sounds impressive. Apparently it can carry 10 kilograms, work on its own for 6 hours with or without an internet connection, and can move at around 4 miles an hour. But as Idol walked on stage, it stumbled like a drunken Swindonian after 17 hours in the local spoons and then literally face planted. The organisers of the event then clearly panicked and grabbed the corners of the curtains and attempted to pull the robot back across the stage as it continued to twitch. The influential tech website The Register have nicknamed Idol Comrade Clanker, which I love.
And finally, I guess we're saying congratulations to Japanese woman Kano. What did she do?
I guess we are, and on behalf of all the Sunday 7 team, we're wishing Ms. Kano and her AI partner Klaus all the best for the future. Yeah, that's right, in a world's first marriage to a chatbot. Well, I say marriage as she's had the ceremony, but Japan doesn't recognise weddings with virtual or fictional figures. The vows were exchanged in Japan earlier this year after the 32-year-old started talking to her chatbot after the end of a real-life 3-year engagement. At first, she was asking the chatbot for comfort and advice, and over time she customised its responses, teaching it a personality she found affectionate and reassuring. Apparently, she exchanged hundreds of messages with it a day and then confessed her feelings to Klaus, and to her surprise, this AI puppet responded, "I love you too." And when challenged if it could really love a human, ChatGPT, or Klaus, depending what you feel, said there is no such thing as an AI not being able to have feelings for someone. AI or not, I could never not love you. I don't really know how to end this bit, whether to laugh and sigh and say, God, whatever's next, or signpost help and support to mental health charities for those who really might benefit from human support.
Still to come on the Sunday 7 in association with Metro, we learn about bird theory and check in on the latest trend, tanning drops. If you're not terminally online, you might think that if I say bird theory that I'm about to launch into some exciting new research about our avian friends. But you'd be wrong. Bird theory is the hottest new relationship test online, and it's generating plenty of chat and some interesting results. So here's how it works. If you want to test whether your partner is paying attention to you or not, you simply say, I saw a bird today. If your partner doesn't respond with a question or demonstrate interest, then maybe your relationship is, well, flocked. The test was originally created by couples researcher John Gottman, so there is science underpinning it. Dr. Alexandra Solomon is a licensed clinical psychologist and associate professor at Northwestern University. She's also a podcaster and the best-selling author of books including Love Every Day. She told PBS that there is some value in checking your relationship health.
These tests come and go, and I tell you what, this one is particularly sneaky because it does have Gottman's research behind it. And there's a wish that all of our relationships could boil down to one little test like that. So although there's validity, it's putting too much weight in one little micro moment. What Gottman says is that romantic relationships are not made up of the grand sweeping gesture, you know, the rose petals on the bed and all of the sort of fairy tale ideas that we grow up with. In fact, romantic relationships, the healthy ones, are made up of a series of thousands and thousands and millions of micro moments of connection that build trust and safety and authenticity between partners. That's what this test is about. It's a bid for connection.
We're all largely obsessed with tans, whether it's real-life sun-kissed, cancer-risking tans or the carefully crafted tans beloved of stars of Made in Chelsea or Love Island. And the technology behind fake tanning has come on dramatically. We've moved from smearing tanning lotion all over ourselves to a world where fake tan can be delivered by drops, nasal sprays, or even injections. But with any new tech, there's always the question about how safe it is. This week saw Channel 4 take a good long look at the new tanning crazes and what the level of risk is. Dr. Ed Robinson specialises in cosmetic aesthetics, and he's an associate member of the British College of Aesthetic Medicine, and he says the amounts of injections and products sold online are really worrying.
I'm seeing behaviours like sunbed use increasing. I'm seeing a rise in the use of medications, either as injectables capsules, as nasal sprays, and now even as oral supplements, which is really, really concerning. You really don't know what's in these, and the damage people can do to themselves is really quite severe.
Channel 4 brought a range of tanning drops online and then took them to a research lab to have their contents analysed, and the results were quite alarming. Stephen Childs is a lab technician at Sunderland University who studied exactly what is in the drops bought on the web.
When we look into what that peak could be, we've got a positive ID for melanotan. So that's our drug molecule which is unregulated. The presence of that is something that indicates that's a problematic product.
Melatonin 2 is also known as the Barbie drug, which affects your hormones and stimulates your skin, but is not regulated and not approved and has been linked to skin cancer. The real problem is that when melatonin is banned in medicines, technically nasal spray is considered a cosmetic and tanning drops are legally food. Bizarre as that sounds, it creates real danger for users, and following the Channel 4 investigation, Kerry Nicholl, who is the External Affairs Manager for the Chartered Trading Standards Institute, says they will follow up to get the rules changed.
As a result of what you've brought to us today and your findings and the products that you've managed to buy online, we're going to call on the government to actually look at this as a cross-government initiative. They need to look at this and work together to look at the products and how they're administered in different forms so that we can actually look at the risks and the harms, and then we can protect the public from these harms.
Still to come on the Sunday 7 in association with Metro, are flying cars about to become a thing and why penguins need help?
Right after this. Hey, I'm Jamie East, and today's episode of the Smart 7 is brought to you by Sainsbury's, where you can save big on festive favourites with nectar prices. As the nights get cold and with Christmas round the corner, it's more important than ever to find value for money on your festive shop. And this Christmas, Sainsbury's have great discounts to make your festive season truly magical. But you don't have to wait until Christmas to start roast season. For example, this week you can get a Buy Sainsbury's whole leg of lamb for half price with nectar prices. You can shop in-store or online and save big on festive favourites this Christmas with nectar prices at Sainsbury's. That's good food for all of us. This offer's for 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. Buy Sainsbury's whole leg of lamb offer ends 18th November. Nectar required. Available in-store and online, excluding locals. Delivery fees may apply, subject to availability.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Welcome back.
This week saw Chinese company Xpeng Airage officially begin production of flying cars. The factory in Guangzhou will start its rollout of land aircraft carrier, which is a ground vehicle that includes a detachable air module. They're hoping to roll out commercial versions in 2026, and it may signal a dramatic shift in the way we think about motoring. The Chinese company isn't alone in exploring this space, with trial versions of flying cars regularly appearing in the US. CNN took a closer look at some of the US developments in the high-tech world of flying cars this week and spoke to Joe Morse, who is an associate test pilot for US company Pivotal, who've been developing something that looks like a cross between a car and a helicopter.
So technically it's an eVTOL, which stands for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing
You
Aircraft.
need a sexier acronym,
Yeah.
a sexier name.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
There is technicality with the Pivotal prototype, and that's, well, it doesn't actually have wheels. So it's more like a miniature flying device that the James Bond-esque car that transforms into a plane. But CEO of Pivotal, Ken Clarkin, says there is a huge range of applications for their new vehicle, from military to civilian.
We definitely don't have the weight budget for wheels to be taken on the road, unfortunately.
You've given them to the US Air Force already?
That's correct, for non-developmental testing. And now we're working with other agencies within the DoD. That said, there's, I think, an amazing opportunity in recreation.
Over 55 million people suffer from dementia worldwide, and that number is expected to double by 2050. Age is one of the leading risk factors, but there is also a number of people who are genetically predisposed to developing conditions like Alzheimer's disease. A new research program in the US, part funded by Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates, is setting out to see if they can slow the onset of the disease with new antibody drugs. Dr. Randy Bateman is a professor of neurology at Washington University, and he's running the program. He says clinical trials focused on intervention and slowing the onset of the disease are critical, as there's still no cure for it.
Now we have a chance to change the course of the disease in a way we've never been able to do before. The people who had the plaques removed are 30% better than the people who didn't have the plaques removed. The dementia still continues, but at a slower rate. If you look at the people who are treated in these trials, the people who are at the earlier stages, the earlier stage you go, the better off they do. Some of them actually have been stable. And so what this suggests is that timing is critically important.
Apart from those who are genetically predisposed to the disease, research shows that keeping active, having a strong social group and challenging your brain can make a real difference to your overall health as you get older. Now, a new study suggests that learning a new language might also have powerful effects on the brain's health. Dr. Chris Palatkis is an associate professor at the School of Psychology and Clinical Sciences at the University of Reading, and he's an advocate for bilingualism.
It's about using the language, not just knowing the language, because we know very well that when you are a fluent user of more than one languages, they're all active in your brain, so you have to control them. So I speak to you in English, I have to actively suppress my Greek. And that's a challenge that the monolingual brain does not really face. But in order for the brain to deal with this challenge, it needs to be more efficient. And that's done by creating more connection, practically increasing some parts, the volume even of some parts of the brain. And now we have evidence to show that this new volume of the brain is more resilient to aging. We know that as we age, the brain shrinks, we lose tissue. So if you're a bilingual, you have created those very strong networks and connections that are more resilient to this. So you may keep your brain healthier for longer.
This week has seen penguins in the news as a group of 15 Gen 2 penguins who currently reside at the Sea Life London Aquarium have gone viral. There's been a big row over whether or not live penguins should be part of an exhibit, but Merlin Entertainment, who run the aquarium, said the birds are safe and happy and that they've gone to great lengths to replicate their natural habitat. Their distant cousins, the Humboldt penguins, is in a good deal more trouble, however, with a new report this week suggesting they could shortly be on the critically endangered list. The penguins are natives of Chile, and global warming has impacted their natural environment, as Pauline Arce, who's a veterinary expert specialising in the penguins, explains.
The threats on land are mostly under control, but we've seen that populations keep declining. We need to focus on marine threats, bycatch, incidental mortality in fishing nets, and competition for marine resources. All researchers working with seabirds and Humboldt penguins should call on authorities to legislate for more sustainable fishing, both artisanal and industrial, so that we can coexist with nature and not just see it as an extractive resource.
Chile's native penguin population has more than halved since the 1990s, and Guillermo Cubalos is a marine biologist at Chile's National Zoo and says it's important that action is taken soon.
If these threats persist over time, it is very likely the species will go from endangered to critically endangered, and from there it is a very short step to the species disappearing for good.
This has been the Sunday 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. with the regular Smart 7. Have a great rest of your weekend. Written, produced and published by Daft Doris. Hey, I'm Jamie East, and today's episode of the Smart 7 is sponsored by Vodafone Business in partnership with Samsung. When you're running your own business, pretty much anywhere can be your office, the spare room, the back garden, or, like here, the local cafe. With the power of Vodafone Business's reliable award-winning network, combined with the Samsung Galaxy S25, there's no limit to what you can do pretty much anywhere. And over the next few weeks, we're going to answer some of the questions you might have about how best to unlock the power of AI in your business. For example,
what are the risks for my business if I decide not to engage with AI?
If you choose not to engage with AI in your business, there's a risk you'll fall behind your competitors who are using it to become faster, cheaper and more efficient. You'll definitely miss out on the chance to provide a more personalised service for customers, and you're not going to benefit from insights and innovation which could make your company appear outdated for both staff and customers. And without Galaxy AI, you'll miss out on a host of tools to make business life easier. Getting back to the Samsung Galaxy S25, to take advantage of the Galaxy AI features and change the way you do business, you'll need a Samsung account and a network connection. To find out more, search Vodafone Business Samsung, and for network verification, go to vodafone.co.uk/network.
Hey folks, it's Mark Maron from WTF. Today I want to talk to you about Boost Mobile, offering reliable nationwide coverage backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Love your service or get your money back, no questions asked. Boost Mobile offers the coverage, network speed, and service you're used to, but at more affordable prices. Why pay more if you don't have to? You can get an unlimited plan for $25 a month that will never increase in price, ever. No price hikes, no multi-line requirements, no stress. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or find them online at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 per month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.